You're welcome to WASSCE Points. We shall be looking at past questions from 2011 to 2017 on change of subject of a formula, part 1. Okay, let's take the first question. The first question says, this is from West African Senior School SAT, June 2011, Theory Part 1, Question 2A. It says, make Q the subject of the relation T is equal to the square root of PQ over R minus R squared times what? Q. Let's do justice to it. We have solution. Let's say T is equal to what? The square root of PQ over what? R minus R squared Q. Now, we need to remove the square root sign. What do? We square both sides. Square both sides of the equation. We now have T squared as equal to what? Bracket open. The square root of what? PQ over what? R minus R squared times what? Q bracket close. All what? Squared. Now this implies that we have T squared as equal to what? PQ over what? R minus R squared times Q, bracket open, bracket close, raised to power what? Half times 2. Because the square root sign is the same thing as taking this equation to power half. So we bring down this 2. So what will happen? This 2 will cancel this 2. We now have that what? T squared is now equal to what? PQ over R minus R squared Q. Now we are looking for Q. What do? The next step is to do what? Is to multiply both sides of the equation by what? R. Because we have a fraction here and we have R here. So this now implies that we have R times T squared as equal to PQ minus R into what? R squared times Q. This gives us what? RT squared as equal to what? PQ minus R cube times what? Q. Now the next step, we are looking for what? Q. Now this equation can be written as PQ minus R cube times Q as equal to what? RT squared. We have not changed anything. It's still the same thing. So what do we now do? We factorize. We factorize the left hand side. So we now have Q into what? P minus what? R cube equal to what? RT squared. Now we are looking for Q. What do? We divide both sides of the equation by what? P minus R what? Q. This now gives our Q as equal to what? RT squared, all divided by what? P minus what? R cubed. So this is our answer. Remember, when you divide both sides, what will happen? This P minus R will give way for the Q to stand what? Alone, thereby making Q the subject of what? The formula. So this is our final answer. Okay, let's take the next question. West African Senior School SAT, June 2016, objective question 14. Make S the subject of the relation P is equal to S plus SM squared over what? NR. We have the options here. Option A, B, C, and D. One of them is the correct answer. So let's proceed. Solution. We have that P is equal to what? S plus SM squared over what? NR. What do? We multiply both sides by what? NR. We now have P times NR as equal to S times what? NR plus SM squared. This now gives us what? NRP as equal to what? SNR plus SM squared. What do? We want to rewrite this equation as SNR plus SM squared as equal to what? NRP. It's still the same thing. The next step is to do what? We factorize the what? The left hand side. This now gives us S into what? NR plus M squared as equal to what? NRP. But we want S to stand alone. What do? We divide both sides by what? NR plus M squared. This now gives us S into NR plus M squared divided by NR plus what? M squared equal to NRP over NR plus what? M squared. Now, what will now happen? These two will cancel. We now have that S is equal to what? NRP over NR plus M squared. So which is the correct answer in the options? Let's look at it. Okay, D is the correct answer. Let's take the next question. This is GCE, November 2016, objective question number 9. It says if T is equal to A minus M all over 1 plus AM, find A in terms of T and M. It means make A the subject of the formula. We have the options A, B, C, and D, so one of them is the correct answer. So let's solve it. Solution. Let's say if T is equal to A minus M over 1 plus AM. Remember, T also means T over 1. So we cross multiply both sides. This now gives us T into what? 1 plus AM as equal to 1 times what? A minus M. So we now have T into 1 plus AM as equal to what? A minus M. Now what do? We clear the brackets. We clear the brackets on the left hand side. This gives us T times 1 as what? T plus TAM as in T times AM is equal to what? A minus M. So what do we do next? We bring terms containing A together, since they say we should make A the subject of the formula. So this simply means we now have T plus M as equal to what? A minus TAM. How? From here, this M here on the right hand side is minus M. So as it crosses over this side, it becomes what? Positive. Here the TAM is positive. As it crosses over this equality sign, it becomes what? Negative. Okay, so let's proceed. This also can be rewritten as A minus TAM as equal to T plus M. We have not changed anything. It's still the same thing. So what do we now do? We factorize the left hand side. So this now gives us A into what? 1 minus TM as equal to what? T plus what? M. We want A to be alone. So what do? We divide both sides by what? 1 minus TM. This now gives us a into 1 minus tm over 1 minus tm as equal to what? T plus m over what? 1 minus tm. What will happen? These two will go, thereby making our a to be equal to what? T plus m over 1 minus t what? M. Do we have it in the option? Let's see. T plus m, yes. 1 minus a, so option D is the correct answer. Okay, let's take the last question here. West African Senior School SAT, June 2017, objective question number 41. Make x the subject of the relation D equal to the square root of 6 over x minus y over 2. The square root sign covers the whole of this equation, so take note of that. And then the options are A, B, C, and D. So one of them is the correct answer. So let's solve it. Solution. They said D is equal to the square root of 6 over x minus y over 2. Now we square both sides in order to remove the square root sign. Squaring both sides, we now have that d squared is equal to what? 6 over x minus y over 2. This is raised to power half. Then they say square. Okay. Now this now gives us d squared as equal to what? 6 over x minus y over 2. We now have half because this square root sign also means half, so times 2. These 2 here, so these 2 will cancel. This now gives us 6 over x minus y over 2, which now makes our d squared to be equal to what? 6 over x minus y over 2. Now from here, what do? We want x to be alone. Now what do? We add y over 2 to where? To what? To both sides. This now gives us d squared plus y over 2 as equal to 6 over x minus y over 2 plus y over 2. These two will go. You now have d squared plus y over 2 as equal to what? 6 over x. The next thing we need to do, since we are looking for x, is to do what? We multiply both sides by what? By 2. This now gives us 2 times d squared plus y over 2 times 2 as equal to what? 6 over x times what? 2. This gives us 2d squared plus y, because these 2 will cancel out, which now gives you 6 times 2 is what? 12 over what? X. Okay, now what do we do next? We cross multiply both what? Both sides, because this 2d squared plus y is the same thing as 2d squared plus y over what? 1. This now gives us x into 2d squared plus y as equal to what? 12. Okay, now we want x to stand alone. What do? We divide both sides by what? 2d squared plus what? Y. This now gives us x into 2d squared plus y divided by 2d squared plus y equal to 12 over 2d squared plus y. What will happen? These two will do what? Cancel, making our x now to be equal to what? 12 over 2d squared plus y. Do we have that in the options? Let's check. Do we have that in the option? 12 plus 2. Yes, option D is the correct answer. Please, if you like what you have just watched, kindly subscribe to this channel. Thank you.